Welcome back. Indeed, tourism is a key pillar of the country's economy, and this year has witnessed the great efforts exerted by the Tourism and Antiquities Ministry to promote tourism in spite of the repercussions of COVID-19. To shed more light on that, we are joined over the phone by our tourism expert, Mr. Sameh Saad. Mr. Sameh, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our viewers. Fine, thank you.
Mr. Sameh, to start with, President Sisi is an official visit to France. How far will the present tour promote for the tourism in Egypt?
Let me start by saying we are lucky. When we had tourism back, we had a setback in tourism in 2015 and 16. And the main reason that tourism came back in good numbers before the COVID-19 was due to our president's visits. He has been in America, he has been in the United Nations, in China, in Japan, in many countries. And those political efforts really had changed the mind in Europe and the other countries about Egypt. So we had a good flow of tourism until the COVID-19. The main reason was President Sisi. He was the best promoter for tourism in Egypt, in a positive way, of course.
Mr. Sameh, lately President Sisi opened the Royal Vehicle Museum, Sharm el-Sheikh Museum and Kafr el-Sheikh Museum, which was via video conference. How, from your point of view, do you see the Tourism Ministry's policy of integrating beach tourism with the cultural tourism?
Let's say that there is no doubt that every new event happening in Egypt is positive news. All those museums, they were there, but they were neglected. And now they are reshaped and they are there. So this is all positive news, and it's helping pushing forward tourism into Egypt.
Sir, Kafr el-Sheikh Governorate, since the earliest historical times, had a large share of contribution to the history of the Egyptian civilization. Would you please elaborate, shedding more light on the significance of inaugurating the Kafr el-Sheikh Museum?
The Kafr el-Sheikh Museum actually is a plus in Delta, because when we see that the Delta in Egypt has been having a lot of history as well, but for some reasons it didn't have any museum or archaeological site to be placed in the tourism program of the tourists. Let me highlight here, a tourist could be an international tourist coming to Egypt, or could be a local tourism. We still have the right as Egyptians living in the country to go and see our history, our heritage. And having those museums in this kind of governorate spread all over Egypt is always good for the culture of the Egyptian population, the new generation, to know everything about our history.
Mr. Sameh, also the Ministry of Tourism said that 17 museums have been inaugurated or developed throughout the past 6 years. How do you evaluate the efforts of the Ministry of Antiquities regarding the development and the inauguration of the museums?
Well, in fact, really, the Ministry of Antiquities has never been so active and so moving everywhere. A lot of discoveries, a lot of museums, since a very long time. So the efforts are noticeable. You can read every day in the international news. Something happening, the name of Egypt comes in, the discoveries of the mummies, the opening of the museum, the restoration. I mean, every day we have something happening. So, I mean, the active minister, His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, really has pushed this ministry much forward than before.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Sameh Saad, our tourism expert. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us.